So, welcome again guys sa subject natin ng MATH123A or Engineering Data Analysis. So, for this day, we will be discussing yung measures of dispersion and skewness. Okay? So, this is our fourth topic for this subject. So, let's start. So, at the end of the session, these are the things that we would like to accomplish or for you to know or to be able to perform right after we discuss or finish discussing this um, lesson. Okay? So, first is to discuss yung two formulas of standard deviation for ungroup and group data. So, we have also shortcut formulas for standard deviation for group and ungroup data to calculate and interpret the various measure of dispersion, define the two types of skewness and relate it to the normal distribution. And last is to state and apply the formula for skewness. Okay? So, isa-isahin natin yan later on. So, to start, so we have here, measure of variability. So, yung set of data na na-gather natin last time. So, every time we are given a set of data, whether it's on group or group, ginawa natin last time is we measure yung mga central tendencies o yung mga averages natin, no? Pero yung mga averages na yun doesn't tell us kung gaano ka-scarce o gaano ka disperse yung bawat element or yung bawat number dun sa mismong mga values na yun. Bawat dun sa average natin o yung sa mean natin. Hindi na sinasabi kung gaano siya kalayo doon. So for this lesson, i-discuss natin kung paano natin ma-relate yung average natin dun sa mga elements natin. Okay? So ito yung natawag nga natin measures of variability. So yung variation natin is measured by three methods. Yung first one is yung pagkuha ng range. Then we have a variance. And then lastly, we have yung standard deviation. Okay? So, punta muna tayo sa range. Ano yung sasabing range? So, alam ko last time na discuss na din natin yung regarding sa range is just the difference between the highest and the lowest values in the set of data. So, meaning kung meron kang ungrouped data, like for example, yung given sa slide na to. So, we have 15, 12, 17, 18, 25, 16, 27, 22. So, what we always do is to rearrange it to decreasing or ascending order or increasing or decreasing order. Then we will just select the highest and the lowest values. So for this case, 27 yung highest, 12 yung lowest, and we just get the difference between them. So yung difference between them is 15. So meaning, ito um, yung range o yung measure kung gaano ka dispersed yung data natin. So ibig sabihin, 15 units yung layo ng bawat isa sa bawat element natin. Umaga yung lowest at highest natin, 15 units yung difference nila with each other. So, pinapakita lang niya, although hindi niya sinasabi kung anong relationship niya with the other elements, hindi detailed masyado, pero sinasabi niya kung gaano kalaki yung yung kumaga in between nung set of elements natin. Okay? So, sabi nga dito, range therefore does not reflect the variation in the data that lie between the high and low observations. So, kaya minsan yung range, kinukuha lang natin siya just to know um, yun nga, yung difference between the highest and the lowest. But the most commonly used measure of variability o para makita natin kung gaano ka-disperse yung data natin from the mean or yung sa average natin is to use yung variance and standard deviation. Okay? So, ano ba yung variance and standard deviation? So, for ungroup data, we have yung first version ng formula. So, si variance kasi is ang gagawin natin pag sinabi natin yung variance, yung each element natin, ima-minus natin dun sa mean natin. Then kukunin natin yung square nun, tapos i-add natin each element. So, ibig sabihin, from this formula, Kung halimbawa, di ba may set of data tayo, ibahin na lang natin yung data. Halimbawa, 5, 10, 15, 20 yung data natin. So, we have 4 data. So, kailangan natin yung mean natin. So, again, arithmetic mean natin is just the summation ng x natin over yung total number ng elements natin. So, for this case, we have 15, 30, 50, no? Tama ba? So, we have 50 over 4. So, yan yung ating arithmetic mean. So, 50 over 4 is just ilan?
35 po.
Ha? Divide lang. 12.5 tayo. Tama. 15, 30, 20. Okay. So, 12.5 yung mean natin, arithmetic mean natin. So, para makuha natin yung variance, ang formula niya, yung variance is represented by S square, no? Or sa ibang textbook, that is sigma square. So, talagang may square siya doon, no? Then, para makuha daw siya, equal siya doon sa summation ng difference ng element natin minus yung mean natin. So, ibig sabihin, yung kung i-apply natin yung formula dito, yung naging mangyari dyan, yung first element natin, 5, 5 minus 12.5, tapos i-square natin, plus yung kasunod na element natin, 10 minus 12.5 squared. Okay? So, solve ko lang ito, no? Okay. Okay, then next, 15 minus 12.5 squared plus yung last nating element, 20 minus 12.5 squared. Then all over, yung n natin is yung total number of elements natin, so 4 minus 1. Okay? So, yun yung tinatawag natin variance. Then, para makuha natin sa standard deviation, we just need to get the square root ng variance natin. So, kaya nakita niyo dito sa formula, para mawala yung square dito sa kabila, introduce lang natin yung square root, no? Kaya magiging S to, tapos ito, same formula, nagkameron lang ng square root sign dahil yun yung relationship niya with variance. Okay? So, ito yung first version ng formula. So, ngayon, gamitin natin yung previous na data natin regarding dun sa age natin, dun sa gustong mag-travel. Okay? So, doon pala sa group data yan. So, ito, ungroup data. So, let's say we have the data score 7, 10, 14, 19, and 25. Pinapahanap is yung standard deviation and yung variance natin. Okay? So, for this case, we need to identify first yung arithmetic mean natin, no? So, arithmetic mean natin is equals to summation of yung elements natin over total number of data. Okay? So, summation lang, 7 plus 10 plus 14 plus 19 plus 25 all over. Ilan yung ano natin? 1, 2, 3, 5. So, we have 5. We have
13 po.
75 over 5 or 15. Okay? So, 15 yung mean natin. So, basing dun sa formula natin, ang standard deviation, first formula natin. So, sa variance is equal siya sa summation ng x minus mean squared all over and minus 1. So, kailangan natin kunin tong numbers na to. So, kaya meron tayong column na yun para dito. Then, we need to get the squared of that number. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, itong rows natin is for each element. So, we have 7, 10, 14, 19, and 25. Okay? So, kapag ima-minus natin yan isa-isa dun sa given natin, so, ilan? So, 7 minus 15, we have negative 8. Okay? So, you can do the math naman, no? Wait lang. Okay? So, we have negative 5 negative 1, 4, tsaka 10. Okay? Then we just need to square each number. So, naka-quantity yan, so dapat kasama yung sign. Kaya dapat lahat ng values natin on the third column will be all positive. No? So, 8 squared is 64, 5 squared is 25, 1, then 16, then 100. And we just need to get the sum of this column. Okay, yung third column natin. So, we have 6, 0, 2. Okay, 206. So we can now use that in our formula for variance. So 206 all over 5 minus 1. So ilan yan? So we have 51.5 as our standard deviation. And to get our as our variance, and to get our standard deviation, we just need to square root our variance. So we have our standard deviation as 7.176. Okay, so this will be our answer. Okay, question regarding our first example or application ng first formula natin for variance and standard deviation.
So far po.
Okay, so medyo straightforward pa naman siya, no? Kasi as long as you follow through yung formula and you know yung mga notations na ginagamit natin, siguro madali pa din naman siyang sundan, no? Okay, then we have our second version ng formula for ungrouped data. So ngayon, ang nangyari doon sa formula, lagi siyang n times yung summation ng squared ng element natin minus yung squared ng element all over n times n minus 1. Okay? Yan yung sa variance. Then, second version ng para sa standard deviation is the same as square root lang ng variance natin. Okay? So, okay, so let's apply. Kung tingnan natin kung parehas sa magiging sagot natin. Ano? So, dito, we have 7, 10, 14, 19, and 25. Then, pag square natin yan, so, kasi base doon sa formula, naka-squared yung mga values, no? So, we have 49, 100, and then we have 196, 361, and 625. Okay? And we get the sum of that kasi yung formula ng variance natin, again, is n summation of x squared minus x squared all over n times n minus 1. Okay? So, pag sinam natin to, we have 1, 3, 3, 1. Okay? So, we have 1,331. So, pag nakuha na natin yan, we can substitute that into this term, no? Okay? So, substitute natin. Yung n natin is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, 5 times 1, 3, 3, 1 minus uh, x squared. Ano yung x squared natin? So, kailangan ng summation ng x. No? So, uh, so may mali doon sa formula. No? So, dapat ito ay summation of x squared. Okay? Dapat may summation na term, no? Okay, so we need to add. So, 7, 17, 41, 75. Okay? So, minus 75. Ayusin natin yung ano no, yung formula. Okay? This should be n summation of x squared. Okay? Then minus dito is summation of x, then naka-squared siya sa labas. Okay? So you know the difference. N minus 1. Okay? So, paki-adjust na lang yung formula dito, no? So, 75 yung summation of x, then we need to square that number. Okay? Then we have 5 times 5 minus 1. So, yung variance natin is equals to 5 minus 1, 51.5. So, let's check if it's the same as the previous one. Okay? So, the same, no? 51.5. Okay? So, ito yung variance natin. Then, yung standard deviation natin is just a square root of 51.5. So, of course, that will be the same lang nung first value natin kasi parehas lang tayong nag-square root ng 51.5. Okay? Okay? So, bakit kailangan ng second version? So, if ever you are having difficulty or mas magiging madali sa inyo yung hindi pagkuha ng mean dun sa ungrouped data, you can just use mismo yung data mo, yung element mo, no? So, you can always do yung tulad do, two columns lang yung kailangan natin to proceed with the equation or the solving of variance unlike dun sa previous natin ginawa na we need to prepare three columns, no? Para magamit yung variance and standard deviation natin na formula. Okay? So, so depende din siya sa situation ng problem or sa preference ng mismo nagsasolve ng problem. Okay? As long as the value of the variance and the standard deviation is the same for all cases, no? Okay? So question regarding the second version of the formula for ungrouped data.
Wala na po, sir.
Ana, okay? Thank you for the feedback. So, yan. So now we go to group data. So if we have versions sa ungrouped data, of course, meron din tayo sa group data. So punta muna tayo sa first version for the variance and standard deviation. So sa variance, ang kaibahan lang niya ngayon is anong yung mapapansin nyo? Naka-multiply siya sa frequency, no? So ngayon, naka-multiply yung formula natin sa frequency. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, pag nakuha natin yung katulad ng kinukuha natin sa ungrouped data, multiply natin siya dun sa value ng frequency natin dun sa distribution table natin. Okay? Then, the same na dun sa standard deviation natin. So, it's just the square root of the variance natin. So, okay. So, let's apply that dun sa data natin from previous exercises natin, no? So, we have ito yung sa mga bibigyan natin ng travel, no? Yung mga classes natin na prepare natin.
Bayad ka?
Okay? So, yan. So, we have yung frequency natin already provided. Then, yung X natin is, ano yung X natin na yan? So, yung X natin is yung, anong tawag natin dyan? Yung mean natin for each class, no? Yan, yung midpoint for each class. Okay? So, we have yung fx natin. So, just multiply lang natin yung two columns na f of x. We have yung following data. Then we have yung x minus x bar natin. No? So, yung x bar natin is yung mean natin. So, we just perform yung operation na x minus bar x. So, 22.5. No? So, I'll just do the first one. Then, just to rewrite yung mga succeeding, no? 55.5. So, equals yan sa negative 33. Then, when you perform the others, so we have 23, so negative 13, negative 3, 7, 17, and 27. Okay? Then, you just have to spare that values. So, we have then 89, 529, 169, 949, 289, and 729. Okay? Then, itong column na to, multiply lang natin dito sa frequency natin dito. Okay? So, that will be 2 times uh, 1089 equals dun sa 8, 712. Okay, 2178. Okay? And kapag pinerform sila sa others, so we have 1058, 845, 99, 735, 867, and 1458. Okay? Then going back to sa formula natin for variance, variance natin, ang formula natin ngayon is pinagdagan natin ng fx minus bar x squared over n minus 1. Okay? So, kailangan kunin natin yung summation niya, kaya meron tayo ditong summation na symbol. Okay? So, pag kinuha natin yung sum niya, the sum will be 7,240. Okay? So, yan. So, now we can now apply the formula. Okay? So, ito yung formula natin. So, just nire-write lang ulit yung from previous slide, no? Ito lang yung mga total na values natin. So, para sa variance, pag substitute natin, we have 7,240 minus, yung n natin is 40 minus 1. So, yung variance natin is just equal to 39. So, we have 185.641. Okay? Ito yung variance natin. And to get our standard deviation, just need to square root yung value na nakuha natin, no? So, yung 185.641. So, yung standard deviation natin will be 13.625. Okay? Question regarding the first version of the formula for group data.
So far po.
Okay? So, next, yung second version. So, again, um, almost the same siya, naka-multiply lang siya ng frequency. Okay? So, dito, again, dapat ito ay summation of f of x. No? Summation. Okay? Then, we try to um, solve yan. So, ang bago sa atin dito is yung fx squared natin, no? So, you just need to square yung x then before multiplying dun sa fx natin or pwede din yung fx na value natin yung 45 times mo lang nung x natin, no? Itong dalawa. So, you have your next value. So, pwedeng 45 times 22.5. So, that will be 1,012.5. Okay? Then, performing that to the other rows or other classes natin. So, we have 12.5, then 9031.25, 30318.75. We have 58593.75. We have 15768.75. And we have 13612.5. Okay? And then, to get the summation of that, you just need to add each row. No? So we have 130,450 as our summation for fx paired. Okay? So, since sa formula natin, kailangan summation siya of fx, kailangan yung column natin, yung fourth column natin na fx is dapat kunin natin yung summation niya. No? Kasi yan ang i-squared natin na value later on. Okay? So, going to the next slide. So, yan yung mga sum natin. So, what we will do is just to substitute. So, we have 40. Then, yung summation of f squared. So, 130, 450 minus yung summation of fx. Tapos, i-squared natin yung summation ng fx, no? So, that will be 2220 squared all over 40 times 39. Okay? And we have variance will be equals to 130, 450 minus 2220 squared over 40 times 30. So that is 185.641, which is hopefully the same. So the same no? 185.641. The same for each version. Okay? So yung standard deviation natin is just the square root of that number, which is of course the same as the value that we have on the previous slide, which is 13.625. Okay? So question for the second version for group data,
Wala naman po, sir.
wala no? Walang challenge tong topic natin ngayon. Basta alam niyo, as long as you know the formula, and you know the difference ng bawat versions and the notation natin, I guess hindi kayo maliligaw, no? Basta alam niyo yung formula natin. Okay, next. So, for group data, meron tayong third version or shortcut formula daw para dun sa variance natin ng standard deviation. Okay? But if you look for the, when you look at the formula, may mga bago siyang notation. No? So, yung dito, ginagamitan natin siya nung D o yung ginagamit natin for um, yung sa formula natin na gamit yung other formula for mean, yung anong tawag natin dun sa isang formula nung mean. Wait, yan, ginagamitan natin nung position niya based dun sa sinelect natin na mean class natin, no? So, yung other formula na yon is yung sa deviation method natin, ano? Okay? So, kaya meron tayong D. Then, yung C natin, alam natin is yung class interval natin. So, yung formula lang niya is C squared times n times summation of fd squared minus fd squared all over n minus 1. So, basically, depende sa ginamit nyo kung ah, ano bang na, yan, okay. So, depende sa ginamit nyo formula for the solution for the mean, no? Kasi pwede nyo gamitin yung sa division method. Kung division method yung ginamit nyo, tapos pinapahanap yung variance and standard deviation, ito yung gamitin nyo na formula for variance and standard deviation, no? Pero kapag halimbawa yung conventional na formula tayo ng standard deviation, you can always use the first two formulas, okay? Para ano lang. So, basically, this is another option lang for those who opt to use yung deviation method as the formula for getting the mean and then getting the variance and standard deviation, okay? So, let's try to adapt that to the same problem. So, di ba sa deviation method, ah, pwede ka mag-select ng kahit anong class as long as tama yung paglalagay mo ng deviation mo, yung D column mo. So, dito, sinelect natin yung second class as our mean class, no? Assume mean class. So, ibig sabihin, pwede ko din i-select itong fifth row natin. So, pag ito yung sa nalalag kong mean class natin, ito yung magiging zero ang deviation. Then, ito yung magiging negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4. Then, 1, 2. Okay? So, same lang yan nung ginagawa natin before, no? Then, as long as tama yung pag-multiply mo, tama yung pag-squared mo, wala tayong magiging problema do'n, okay? So dito, you just need to follow yung formula natin. So dito, gamitin na natin yung nandito sa table, no? And then, yung fourth column, FD, so just need to multiply yung column F and column D with each other. So, kaya meron tayo negative 2, 0, 5, 22, 45, 12, and 10. Okay? Then for the fifth column, which is yung FD squared natin, you can just multiply the fourth column. So, itong fourth column natin with the third column natin. Okay? So, we have negative 2 times negative 1. So, we have positive 2. Okay? And so on and so forth para dun sa um, ibang data natin. Okay? So, we have 0, 5, and 44, 135, 48, then 50. Okay? Then we need to get the summation of column 4 and column 5. So yung column 4 already given na 92. Yung column 5 is we have 284. Okay? And then, yan. So, yan yung mga nakuha natin. So yung formula natin again is displayed as C squared times N summation of FD squared minus summation of FD, no? Squared all over N times N minus 1. Okay? So, okay? So, yan po yung formula natin. So, paano nakukuha yung class interval again? Yung class interval natin is just, you need to, yung lowest, lowest limit o lowest class dun sa isang, lowest limit nung isang class minus dun sa lowest limit ng other class. So, halimbawa, 28 minus 18, o pwedeng higher limit minus higher limit, no? So, we have 28 minus 18. So, ang class interval natin is 10, no? Or pwedeng 37 minus 27. So, we have 10. Okay? So, ibig sabihin ng class interval natin is 10 squared times yung n natin is 40. Then, summation of FD squared is 284 minus summation of FD. Then, i-squared natin yon all over n times n minus 1. Okay? Then, yung standard deviation natin, o yung variance muna pala, will be 10 squared times 40, 284 minus 92 squared all over 40 times 39. Okay, so we have 185.641, which I think is the same as the first two versions. The standard deviation natin is just the um, square root of that number, which is of course the same as the first two versions calculated. Okay, question for this third version ng formula.
Wala pa rin
Wala
po.
naman po.
Okay, thank you. So, okay na tayo para sa standard deviation and variance, no? So, we already discussed yung para sa ungroup and group data. So, you already know the two versions for ungroup data and the three versions for the group data. Okay? Now, we will now go to yung skewness natin. Okay? So, ano ba yung skewness? So, another statistical measure like the average, yung tsaka yung dispersion natin is yung skewness natin, natawag natin symmetry. So, siya yung degree of symmetry or departures from symmetry of a set of data. O kung gaano siya nagbabari o nagbabago mula dun sa selected or calculated data natin or dun sa given set of data natin. Okay? So, skewed distribution is similar in a shape of a normal distribution. So, yung normal distribution curve natin, ang itsura niya, di ba, is bell curve siya na ganyan, no? Na yung both left and right are equal with each other, no? Pero pag skewness yung pinag-usapan natin, yung skew distribution pinag-usapan natin, yung half left of the polygon is not the mirror image of the right half. So, ibig sabihin kung ito yung para sa normal distribution natin, no? Yung para sa skewness, pwedeng halimbawa ito yung center line natin, pwedeng halimbawa mas malaki dito, then mas maliit sa left side, malaki sa right side, no? Pwede namang baliktad yung image natin, mas malaki dito sa left side, then papunta sa left side is maliit. Okay? So, i-distinguish natin yan in the next slide. Okay? So, if the mean, median, and mode are equal, then wala tayong skewness na pinag-uusapan. Okay? Then, kapag yung mean natin is larger than the median and the mode, ilagyan natin to ng notation, no? So, kung ang x natin and curly x and x hat natin are equal, no skewness tayo. Then, kapag ah, yung mean natin is both greater than dun sa um, median natin and dun sa mode natin, tawag sa kanya positive skewness or skewed to the right. So later meron tayong itsura niyan kung anong itsura ng skewed to the right. And then kapag yung mean naman yung smallest of the three averages, negatively uh, skewed skewed naman siya, or skewed to the left. So ibig sabihin less than siya dun sa median natin, then si mean natin is less than din dun sa mode natin. Okay, what happened? For a while lang. Nakikita nyo na yung screen?
Hindi pa po, sir.
Wait lang ha. Okay. Okay, yan, kita na?
Hindi pa rin po ata, sir.
Wala pa din. Naka-display na sa akin.
Kita na po ngayon, sir.
Ayan. Okay?
Meron na po, sir.
Okay, okay. Thank you. So, ayan. So, dapat yung sa negatively skewed o skewed to the left, yung mean natin is the smallest of the three. O ibig sabihin, less than siya dun sa median natin and dun sa mode natin. Okay? So, ito yung normal curve na tawag natin or normal distribution curve wherein yung mean, median, mode natin are the same for each are the same value or equal for each averages, no? So, bell shape siya, ganyan yung itsura niya. And then, for negatively skewed, okay? So, negatively skewed, ibig sabihin si mean ang pinakamaliit, no? So, negatively skewed, ibig sabihin skewed to the left. Kaya dito, makikita nyo, sa left side, ito, no? No? Longer yung tail dito sa left side. Okay? So, skewed to the left siya, which contain extreme low scores that have low frequency but does not contain extreme high scores with corresponding low frequency. Okay? Then, pag positively skewed naman tayo, baliktad. So, si mean naman yung greatest dun sa tatlo. Nang ibig sabihin, yung distribution natin contains extreme high scores that have low frequency but does not contain extreme low scores with corresponding low frequency. So, the curve has a longer left tail. Left tail pa din. Right tail to. Okay? Which is right. Okay? Yan yung dalawang klase ng skewed distribution natin, no? Yung positively skewed and negatively skewed. Then, kapag equal lahat, um, normal distribution niya. Okay? So, ano naman daw yung degree of skewness? So, the degree of skewness is measured by the coefficient of skewness denoted by the formula SK, which is equals to 3 times yung difference ng mean natin and ng median natin all over yung standard deviation natin. So, usually yung values ng SK, yung skewness or coefficient of skewness natin is ranging from negative 3 to 3. Okay? So, we try to apply that dito sa given natin. So, say for example, we have the distribution given. Ito yung na-calculate nating mean median mode. Okay? So, as you can see, yung mean natin is 41.83. Um, Standard deviation pala yung given na isa. So, yung median natin is greater than dun sa mean natin. So, ibig sabihin, may possibility na, na negatively skewed yung ating distribution, no? So, we try to apply yung formula ng SK equals to 3 times bar x minus bar curly x or mean minus median all over S. Okay? Then we try to substitute. So, 41.83 minus 43.23 all over S natin is 14.32. So, ano yung resulting coefficient natin? So, we have negative 0.293. So, nakita niyo doon sa value, negative siya. So, ibig sabihin, negatively skewed siya. Okay? Kasi, mas nakita na din naman natin sa value pa lang ng mean at median natin na mas lesser yung value ng mean natin. Pero, mahirap siyang i-conclude agad dun kasi may mode pa tayo, no? So, one way to know kung anong klase ng skewness meron tayo is to get yung um, skewness coefficient natin. So, yung skewness coefficient natin, turns out, ang value na nakuha natin is a negative value. So, ibig sabihin, negatively skewed siya. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, kahit hindi natin i-perform yung formula for mode, no? Or, no, kahit hindi kompleto yung central tendencies natin o yung other measures of averages natin, pwede natin makalculate yung skewness natin based from the mean, the median, and the standard deviation. Okay? So, depende na lang sa given sa problem. Okay? Then when asked kung paano i-graph yun, so ganito yung itsura niya, no? Okay? So you just need to consider na dapat yung height nung mean natin is lesser than the height of the median natin, no? Okay? Okay? We try another one. So the researcher director of a large oil company conducted a study of consumer buying habits with respect to the amount of gasoline purchased at self-service pumps. Okay? The arithmetic mean amount was 11.5 gallons and the median amount is 11.95 gallons. The standard deviation of the sample was 4.5 gallons. Is this distribution negatively skewed, positively skewed, or symmetrical? What is the coefficient of skewness? Okay? So, ito parang sa problem hindi given tong graph na to ha. So hindi ko lang inalis yung graph kasi ah para hindi na ako mag-perform ng drawing na gano'n, no? So, pero dito sinabi ang arithmetic mean natin sa problem is 11.5. Ang median natin is 11.95 and yung standard deviation is 4.5. Okay? So, coefficient of skewness natin will be 3 times x bar minus curly bar all over S. So 3 times 11.5 minus 11.95 all over standard deviation natin SK natin will be equals to 0.5 minus 11.95 over 4.5. So negative 0.3. Again, the value that we have calculated is a negative value, which means na yung ating given uh, distribution is a negatively skewed distribution. Okay? So, nabi niya has slight negative skewness. Okay? So, yung coefficient of skewness natin is negative 0.3. Ito yung sagot dun sa, ang sagot is negatively skewed tayo, then yung coefficient of skewness natin is ito. Okay? So, question regarding sa skewness, pag-identify ng skewness.
Wala pa naman po, sir.
Okay? So, okay, so if no more question regarding skewness and yung variance natin, this ends our lecture for today. No? So, chill lang yung lecture natin for today. Okay? So, I hope yung formulas regarding sa two version formulas ng variance and standard deviation for ungrouped data and three formulas for group data are clear to you guys. And yung pag-identify ng skewness natin is also clear sa inyo kung paano kinukuha, no? So, if you don't have any more questions, this ends our lecture for today. Okay?